Hello.
Hey.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of
Legends only.
your weekly pop culture in quarantine pop culture podcast where we talk about things and being stuck inside and Brittany quarantine watch and
Legends only.
yeah, 24/7 Chromatica watch too.
24/7, our mental health watch.
Oh, isn't that fucking tea? How are you?
You know that Nicki Minaj meme where she's just touching her hair and it says, just smile and nod, y'all. Just smile and nod.
I
That's how
feel
I am.
that. I thought you were going to say that one. I was like, oh, what now?
Well, that too. But we'll get into that a little later.
Oh, yeah. We'll be discussing her shortly.
Yes, we will. How has your quarantine been this week?
Fine. Like, I
All
got a
right.
lot done, and I tried
That's
to.
good.
So I feel like every week is a year long. So
Yes.
this past week, I tried putting in more structure into everything, and it helped a little bit.
Nice.
So I don't know. But it was really weird. Like yesterday was 90 degrees and humid. So it was like that feeling of, oh my God, let's go to the rooftop bar and get some Coronas.
Yeah, I felt it hard over the weekend. Like the beginning of the weekend felt so like summer.
Yeah. But then it was like, and out.
Yep. I know. I've seen that the bars in New York have started to do the takeaway, which just I feel so bad for the bars and it's so sad the experience. But I hope people support it. But it's still like so sad to watch people like walk up to Rosemont and just like grab a Corona to go.
Guess where I went?
I know you went to our place,
The Ritz.
Miss Ritz.
You know, we've been through a lot with the Ritz, and
We
we're going to
certainly
get through
have.
this too.
We're going to single-handedly fund it to keep it going. So I will Venmo you some money to make sure that you can buy some on my behalf.
I mean, honestly, I'm going again. Like, after we're done with this, I was going to stop by again because they're only open like 2 days now.
Wow.
And I was like,
Okay.
you know what? I'll
Yeah.
just swing by the neighborhood.
What a weird world to
Also,
imagine. Like swinging by.
everyone's drinking on the sidewalks now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Vegas.
Wow. Oh my God. Don't remind me.
But everyone's drinking on the sidewalks and not wearing masks. So I'm like, what?
Oh. And they're
So I
all on
don't
top
know.
of each other?
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah.
Act the fool, girl. I'm here. Act the fool.
You know what? We're going to keep pushing through another week in quarantine. We hope everyone at home has been having a good time, if you can, or
Yeah.
just getting through it. What else has been going on? As always, I think we need to give a shout out to our Patreon Legends Only fans. We had a special episode coming up soon, a deep dive that was actually in the works.
Yes, I can 99.9% confirm, and I feel like I shouldn't even say this because I'm probably jinxing myself, but we can record it not next week, the week after that. So
Okay.
It's coming. I feel like I'm going to be able to work part-time for 1 week.
Excellent.
So then I'll be doing this, but this is more fun.
Right.
So we're all going to have fun.
We're going to have fun. Stay tuned for that. And we just want to give a huge shout out to everyone who is supporting us at patreon.com/legendsonly. It has been invaluable and really, really motivating us to keep this going through the quarantine, which is no easy feat, especially as the news cycle winds down incredibly. But we still somehow find things to talk about.
Yeah. And with the prospects of things and how they're looking, who knows? Legends Only might be our only form of employment.
Right. That is actually
I probably will
not
cut
out
that out.
of the realm of possibility.
Actually, no, I'm not. Maybe I'll just keep that in because it's fucking tea. Because who knows what's going to happen with
It is. Who knows anymore?
everything.
And also, it might be renamed Locals Only because,
right? We're both going to be locals.
right. So yeah, stay tuned. As
Honestly,
this
a dream
podcast,
at this point.
Oh, totally a dream within a dream because I can't say that I dislike a little break from everything. However, I wish the world was still turning, but
I would love a backyard with a patio.
yeah.
I'm so jealous. Like Lindsay has one, and I'm just like, oh my God, I want to go sit on your patio and make s'mores.
You know,
and play in the hose and shake my ass.
It's coming soon.
You know, like use a grill.
Yeah.
And, like, flip burgers on a grill and like hang outside with like honeysuckle on the fence. You know, I'm painting like this is like a local fantasy, right?
It is. Everybody has one available now at Kohl's.
Yeah. Right.
We'll have to see how things shake out the next year. But certainly sounds like you and I might actually be going local.
Yeah, who knows? It's not looking I don't know, prospects? Prophetic?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway.
I'm not even going to say it because, you know, last week I thought that bears hibernated in trees, which I've believed that my whole life, and I blame Winnie the Pooh and like all the fucking cartoons that used to do it.
You know,
so
it's false.
Don't drag me.
And it's false. The honey industry is planting these thoughts in our head.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we should just move on to the things that are things that are actually happening in this world.
Which is a perfect segue into...
So our world is going through such hard times right now. Coronavirus. And we're all staying in. Coronavirus. And we're all staying in. I burnt my gym down. So... Coronavirus. And we're all staying in. One thing led to another, and I burned it down.
Stream and or purchase Glory so that we can get it on the Billboard Hot 200. Okay, so Britney, in what has been a 2020 to remember, is at it again this week. You know, I was convinced that she was going to go into hibernation with all of the bears.
All the bears.
And, you know, just live her local fantasy in her mansion with her trees and her art. Nope. This week, I feel like is the most active that it's been possibly of the year with her.
Yeah, she's definitely fit and active. And enjoying life.
Making impact on a show called SNL, Saturday Night Live. Oh my God, could you imagine if they came back and that was the...
Oh my God, if that...
Live from at home, it's...
Saturday
Night Live. Oh my God. Anyone listening, do it.
Yeah, the SNL writers will hear it.
Yeah.
So Saturday Night Live, Miss Chloe Fineman, one of the newer cast members who is pretty known for her impressions. She did like a really good Marianne Williamson before she got on the show, and Meryl Streep. Well, she's been doing, you know, if you didn't know, SNL's doing sort of an at-home edition of the show to get through this like everyone else. And she has been filming masterclass segments at home where she's taken on different characters. And this past week, she took on none other than the legendary Miss Britney Spears.
I've been in quarantine for 5 years now, and that's okay, because all my favorite stuff is here. Oops, I burned my gym down. So now I exercise outside. When I'm looking for a creative outlet, sometimes I'll paint, sometimes I'll pose. And I'm skinny as a needle. My loneliness is literally saving me. Oh yeah. The thing that helps me most in quarantine is being rich. During this time of corona disease, we have to stay safe. My prayer is with you. I'm Britney Spears, and this is my master school.
Masterclass, Quarantine Edition.
I have to say,
okay,
I feel two ways about this. One,
okay, me too.
On one hand, you know I have a very good sense of humor. I love an impression, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The impression was spot on. The move, like she did her research, and so I respect that because I'm like, you didn't just do... Like the oops, I did it again reference was kind of like dated, but everything else was so spot on, from like the choker to the just the color of the clothes that she picked out to the yoga move. I'm like, okay, she kind of did that.
Right.
But on the flip side of it, I'm like, I just feel like, and it's worse on TikTok, but she's becoming
Definitely.
mocked again.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, where's this coming? Like, I don't know. I'm on the fence of like, I laughed, but then I'm kind of like, wait a minute.
That's exactly how I feel, because I feel like the same people who are having a conversation about whether or not she's okay, or, and, you know, talking about mental health and all of those things, and just generally her state of being right now, will also endorse these impressions. And I'm sort of like, is this not mocking someone who may not be okay? Because I feel differently than I would like a Madonna impersonation, because like Madonna is like so assuredly herself and all of that, and there's no like question about her state of being, whereas Britney's entire being is questioned continuously and mysterious, and
In recent times,
in the past 2 years. So I feel uncomfortable watching it. I also feel like it's a little mean spirited,
right? Like
because
there's like a tinge of it.
because at the end of the day, I think everyone agrees that she's like this sweet little angel who's like super humble and kind. So to even poke fun at her mannerisms right now for whatever reason is sort of like, I don't love it. I personally don't love the impressions. I don't love people when people send them to me. I'm just like, it's uncomfortable to me, because I don't feel like she's in on the joke. I don't feel like it's nice.
That's it. She's got a point. I don't think Britney is or would be in on this joke, and that's where I'm like, oh, okay. Like I can objectively be like, that is such a good impression, and like you really did that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't think who you're making the impression of would think that was funny, which that's important.
And she's been so vocal lately about, she keeps writing these captions about haters and
Yes.
smiling for my haters. And I'm like, I feel like that's probably in some part due to these impressions. People
And they are worse
commenting
on
her
TikTok,
appearance.
by the way.
They're way worse on TikTok. Yeah.
People are
yeah.
way worse on TikTok and way meaner.
She has said multiple times, like, excuse the makeup, or like, my face looks bad and stuff. So to like really, really go in on the mascara and all of that stuff is just kind of like, it feels a little mean to me, and it just makes me uncomfortable. It's just different than I guess like an impression of another pop star. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. I'm probably whatever, but
no.
So every time it happens, I'm always like, you know, because I remember
Britney posted something and was like, oh my God, this is so funny.
Right.
Then I'd be like, okay, this is epic.
Right. I'm trying to think of like funny. There were definitely back in the day, there were funny like Mad TV and SNL impressions that were like goofy. And
she iconically mocked herself on SNL with the moving boobs.
Yes, true. I just don't necessarily know if this is the same. And so it just makes me a little uncomfy. But I will say that Chloe's felt the closest to like an accurate representation, for better or worse, of like Britney in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was good.
And at the end of the day, I mean, iconic, relevant legend, even in 2020 when she doesn't want to be. So
it's true. I mean,
we've said it here before.
Keep her name out of their mouths.
Literally, I'm like, she's the only celebrity that's gonna, not the only one, but like one of the only ones that's gonna make it through this quarantine as like not looking like a narcissistic douchebag. So
right,
keep talking about her. She's an icon. She's a legend. We're gonna keep talking about her here. We still have more points that we have to talk about.
That's true.
So at the end of the day, she's unbothered, and yeah,
she's smiling for the haters.
Yeah, she is, which was another post that she did. Speaking of posts and theories, because, you know, we can't not talk about her. She posted promoting Sam's workouts at home, which also adds to my theory that she is on TikTok, because she posted this on TikTok. It has Rose's Iman Beck remix properly in the app. So I'm like, she used the app. She saved it. Theory.
Oh, yeah.
More confirmation of my theory, I feel like.
And I feel like also confirmation that she is watching TikToks and knowing the most popular songs, because that's obviously like one of the biggest songs on there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wonder if she's editing the videos herself on TikTok.
Oh my God, I know.
Right? I think I just want to like sit on her couch, her little tiny couch, since I'm skinny now, I'd fit on it.
In the corner. Just be like, do you need help editing that? Or
yeah. Like, do you want me to record you doing Savage?
I actually feel like she's doing it herself, because that's why we get the mystery delete, then the upload with the vintage filter. She probably like makes multiple versions and can't decide.
Right, which is like relatable.
Totally. I think it is her though. I do.
Ugh, I wanted to do the Savage dance, or Say So.
I know. I feel like we're inching closer to just full on like Charlie D'Amelio move over. Britney is doing this again. It's all starting on TikTok.
Literally, I'm like, why are you not like showing up these girls?
I know.
Someone's got to tell her.
I would love for her to see the new girls, like, and not to say that they're even dancers. I think Charlie actually is a dancer.
Say,
but
what new girls that are dancing?
Right, but
Where
see
are
those
they?
little TikTok dances and just if you showed off the oops moves for the 20th anniversary, like you could do the chorus, and that would be such a cute moment.
Well, the night is still young, isn't it?
It's true. Watch tomorrow be uploaded, knowing how we speak things into existence.
Tomorrow she'll do Savage and an oops dance, and she'll post 10 times on Instagram, and we'll have to cut all of this out.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Speaking of songs and posts, she also did. She shouted out. Now I don't know how to say this name. Is it Chanel or Channel?
I think it's Channel Trace.
Channel Trace. Okay.
Maybe not. I've never said it out or heard it said out loud.
I was going to say Chanel Trez, but like that's probably wrong. So
Chanel.
Just say
CHAN. BICTH.
Yeah. So the song is called Controller, and she shouted out the artist and the song on Instagram. And I just thought the lyrics were interesting. They're, your body is a game, fuck lames, fuck the fame, I am the controller. Interesting.
Oh.
You know, not that we should dive too deep into everything, but with Britney, there's always...
We love to do it.
Because like we know, everything is a choice for a reason, usually, with her. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, she was really excited about it.
Right?
She,
2 posts.
Humble to a fault. You know, she just is fully unaware of her iconic status sometimes. And she's like, he commented saying, "Thank you for playing his song on my last video. The coolest man in the music business knows me. Holy crap. I felt cool, but also embarrassed because the video wasn't that great. I was just bored and liked the song. Please keep making more songs like that."
Such an innocent, humble, dare I say, like kind of local queen.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's just, she either doesn't embrace or will never fully accept that she is icon status.
No, she will never accept it.
On one hand, it's refreshing, and on the other, it's annoying because it's like, please, you know, we have so many queens of pop who are, if anything, like over the top thirsty, and then you have the complete opposite of this girl who just refuses to accept that she like changed culture forever.
But you know what? Doesn't that add to like the fun of the contrast a little bit?
It totally does. It's
like my 1 and 2 is like Britney and Christina, and they're so polar opposite in their ego.
Exactly.
And I
know.
say that as a compliment.
Oh, completely. You know, it's the Britney on stage versus Britney Jean in real life.
Versus whoever sang Britney Jean, but that's a different story.
It's her against that music. Yeah. Speaking of past albums, we do have a milestone to celebrate.
We do. Because she did sort of, I mean, kind of ish. It was like a pre-made video, but you know,
it was
we'll take it.
But definitely we'll take it. It's the 20th anniversary of Oops 2000, May 16, 2000. And we got acknowledgement from her, which is always nice. A little pre-made video with an old interview right before the album was going to come out. And a sweet little message about how she felt right before the album was going to drop. Little caption there. I thought it was a very cute little thing to do. All of my expectations were exceeded, and it's all thanks to you folks. Thanks for sticking with me and growing with me. I am one lucky girl, winky face, which is, you know, a reference.
Oh, is it? To Lucky?
Oh, you know, I feel like, my dog doesn't like that song.
Justice for Where Are You Now?
Justice for Where Are You Now? Yeah, you know, I was thinking back. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Sam Asghari posted a comment. One word, inspiring.
Wow.
I felt that.
Isn't he younger than Oops, I Did It Again at this point? Like,
the album was out. And
were you even born yet? Like,
yeah, I mean, it brought us back. Obviously, if you'd like to hear all of our thoughts about the album, we do have another podcast where we literally spent a whole episode talking about it.
What a concept. Well, I will say, what's so crazy about this is that, one, I can't believe it's been 20 years since Oops.
Yeah, ancient. We are old.
This October will be 2 years since we launched Britney Podcast, which is insane to think about.
That is insane.
And that was
all
20 years
and all
for
the lows.
Baby.
Yeah.
And I feel like she did more for this than she did for Baby, which was cool to see.
Yes, I think so. I think they had a little plan, Get Naked, to launch the 20th anniversary merch a little better. And I guess they had time on their hands because they're not doing anything to prepare this. Maybe seeing all the dust getting kicked up about the Glory #1 inspired them to try a little harder.
Which we all know they are not known to do.
No. So instead we get a new merch set, which they did their best. We have a robe.
I don't understand the robe.
The robe, I want to say that's like Lucky-esque.
No, it's not.
I mean, it doesn't look like it, but no. As I said in our group chat, I wish they did the Lucky mirror. Just the exact same mirror. That would have been cool. But
she's got a point.
Like a Jeffree Star mirror.
People would have bought that.
Oh, for sure. And then what was it? Like little, not wine glasses, but kind of, right? They were
champagne flutes.
Champagne flutes, which is like, girl, she was
sober.
18, sober, and she was a baby recording this. Like, come on. Weird. And the music is teen pop, so it's also weird.
Yeah, don't understand that choice. But I will say I do like the vintage tour tee that they reprinted.
Definitely love that. The door sign is cute for Don't Go Knocking on My Door.
Which you don't have to worry about because no one's going anywhere. So
don't come over.
Right. Your seamless guy is going to show up and you're going to have this Don't Go Knocking on My Door sign on your door.
Maybe it's good for quarantine. Just have it on your front door.
Yeah. Stay 6 feet away from my door. Don't knock it.
I definitely love any reference to a song that isn't a single, so props to them for that. But this is decent for a 20-year. Obviously, I would have preferred, we are getting that Record Store Day vinyl, but I would have loved some demo, some scratch vocal. Like,
right.
Can't you give us a little more Slow Something New? And pretending that the B-sides are rare is crazy. We all have grown
we all know them.
Yeah. So
I ordered the cassette.
I mean, that's really cute. I saw that.
Guess when it says it's shipping?
December.
No.
When?
Like 8/14.
Oh.
And which month is 8? 6 is June, 7 is July, 8 is August. Okay, there we go. August.
That's like your All I Want for Christmas signed single.
I got them.
Right, but didn't they come like last week?
Yeah. But like, it's fine.
I won't really fault them for that because God knows what the production line is like right now. But,
right. True. But like, just put out a new single. Just, put something on streaming, like an MP3. Right. Don't gotta ship it. Just gotta click upload.
Well, what they did do for new content, the press release that went out for the vinyl reissues casually had, download press photos. And 2 of them we've never seen before, or at least not in that quality. It was her on the bed of flowers making a silly face or like an oops face. And then her sort of laying on the ground. Very beautiful, like inside shot.
Yeah, I have not seen those until now.
So I think they just casually dropped like higher quality outtakes for press use, which is good. She should probably post them herself.
I want ones from the Britney photo shoot.
Oh, yes. I mean, obviously. Hopefully with that, I mean, at this point, what we're going to do is 20th anniversary reissues for everything, I'm sure.
We're not going to make it to the next album.
Well.
Sorry. That just like flew out of my mouth and I didn't mean to like.
Well, if
I'm
we do.
Joking.
Yeah, it was a joke for legal purposes.
Well, actually, no, that would be next year, right?
Yes.
Next year is 20 years of Slave for You.
Yeah, 2001.
Oh my God. I want to jump out my fucking window.
Jesus. Yeah, we are
20 years since Slave for You. Oh my God.
20 years of stands yelling at people to watch the Slave VMAs and saying no one can compare or compete. 20 years of that.
Well, a valid point to make.
It's just been going on for 20 years.
Oh my God.
Speaking of the VMAs, we have our iconic 2000 performance, which, sometimes gets overshadowed by the 2001 visually just iconography wise, but the 2000, the official transformation into a, I'm not a little girl anymore performance is now in HD.
Yes, MTV uploaded it. It is so much better looking than what I have been looking at for the past 20 years.
I'm so glad they decided to wait 20 years to finally do that.
Right?
And I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, it means so much to me.
Better late than never. So if you've never seen it or you want to see it in probably higher def than you've ever seen it.
That would have been a good mix to put on a B-side, like streaming release, like the VMAs studio mix.
Live mix. Yeah.
With like Satisfaction into the dance break and the whole shebang.
So many ideas. Larry.
Fireworks, Larry.
Yep. It's true, though. They put the live Hollywood mix with Madonna and Missy on an EP in 2003. And that is like the best quality. And every time I listen to it, it's like instant nostalgia. But
I love a studio mix.
Love a studio mix.
I need the Billboard medley. Yeah.
The stronger rock remix.
Oh, yeah.
The AMAs for sure.
There's a whole album there.
There is.
A concept.
That's a concept.
B10.
B10 live performances from 20 years ago.
Yeah. Remixed again, reimagined again, and still iconic.
You never know. I feel like the Glory #1 really kicked up, as I said, a lot of attention. And you never know what they might try to repackage. The 20th oops. There's a lot of free time. Let's just pray that they go back into the vaults and do some things. Like, well, you have stuff. Like, should just do something. Reference.
The moral of the story is just do something.
Why don't you do something? I mean, really, though, like, nobody's getting into a studio, but clearly you have vaults. So I don't think it would be a bad idea to unleash the vaults a little bit.
Agreed.
Well, I guess we'll have to see.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of trouble, trouble, trouble.
You had an incredible album cover sitting there for 4 years. God only knows what else you have.
Right?
God, let's not get mad again.
Anyway, that's for a different conversation on a different podcast. We won't bore
That
you
is.
anymore. For those of you who are like, are they done yet? Maybe we'll put a timestamp in our episodes where we can be like, if you don't want to hear about Britney, start here.
And it starts at like the 59-minute mark.
Yeah, well, it's like over 30 at this point.
Right.
You know what?
Well, there are other queens of pop out there, and they have been making some moves.
Yes. A lot more at-home quarantine content this week to discuss before we get into new music. So we have a little bit of an eclectic mix of moments. Speaking of moments, Queen of Moments, Mariah Carey. Now, this feels like it was a year ago. Was it last week? It was last week.
It was, but I agree with you. I can't believe this was this past week.
Right? Because otherwise I wouldn't have put it in here. But anyway, Mariah Carey, who has an at-home studio with good lighting and a good camera that is on her good side, performed Make It Happen live in her like studio closet for the telethon. That was, what was that one called?
Robin Hood?
Yes, that. Which isn't
for
that...
Robin Hood NYC.
Isn't that like an app?
The Robin Hood relief benefit to raise funds for NYCers hit hardest by COVID.
Okay. I thought it was...
I don't know if
I
it
thought
might
Robin
be an
Hood
app.
was like that money-saving app.
Yeah, no, it might be. But anyway, she did it for that. She said, rise up, New York. We will get through this together.
And did you see the photos of her on her like roof deck with the bandana, like clapping?
Yes.
Iconic.
Yes. She's the only celebrity who has done a clapping video that I think is good. Because that Priyanka one...
Oh my God.
Just like empty, looking into the distance.
Thank you all so much.
I just picture that Nicole Kidman long fingers gif of her clap.
It's literally that. Also, I think it's really cool that Mariah has hunkered down here in New York.
Oh, totally. And that's, I think, why the clapping video also works is because you heard like New York erupting in applause. So she was part of it. It's not like some of these celebrities where they're just empty clapping to nothing and it feels
right to their
so
backyard.
Weird. Right. It's like she's part of the moment. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Imagine just looking out and seeing Mariah Carey like on her roof deck clapping in a bandana mask.
Oh my God, perform the roof. You're literally on it.
Give us emotions. And she just like takes a mic and an amp outside and just sang to New York. Oh my God, I would fucking faint.
I love that. That makes her a little more relatable, which is, you know, for being the alleged like diva that she is, it feels very, she's in this together with everyone. So that's cool.
She's always been like very New York City.
Yes.
Like even though she goes to Aspen and like these other places, like she's hunkered down here. We have to stand.
We do. She's making it happen.
She sure is.
Now, another celebrity who had quite a musical moment this past week, but it was not in New York, but you clued me into this, so I tuned in, although, you know, he's a mutual fave, and he is not a queen of pop. We don't stan men, but we do stan this one. This is Cascade. When we have our EDM moments, he played a live set over the Grand Canyon. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, he played at the Grand Canyon, but I didn't realize he played over it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Is that like a tourist thing?
That place is a tourist thing. It's like the Skywalk, and it's kind of like those bridges and shit that you can like go on. And
I could not imagine just standing there playing music for 2 hours. I'd be so scared.
Right? I did the Stratosphere.
He was like dipping his toe in one of the cracks of it. I was like, don't do that.
Nope. I did the Stratosphere in Vegas once, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Yeah, I don't see the appeal. I mean, visually, yes, that looked phenomenal. But like for me personally, I don't need to stand on a translucent walkway over the Grand Canyon. I can safely stand on a rock with Britney doing I'm Not a Girl just fine. Like, where was she? Was she just off camera? Just like pondering life?
Oh, she was sitting on the rock in the distance watching.
Yeah.
So he performed a DJ set on the Skywalk. They had lights, the whole drones.
So cool.
Sunset, perfect timing. And I will say, because next week is my birthday and we were supposed to go see Cascade here in New York, and it was like my big thing.
We were.
I have been very upset about it all getting canceled. So this is like the substitute for it. And it was so fucking good. And it's like 2 hours long. And the set list is phenomenal. He did so many of his old songs. Ugh. I've already watched it 3 times.
Really good. It was really good.
Yeah, and if you're not into EDM,
you might still be into this.
Yeah, this is like you could put this on by the pool while you're working, cleaning, just hanging out. It's not like Martin Garrix is also really good, and he's been doing some really good stuff at home, like on rooftops and on boats and shit.
Yeah.
But Martin Garrix is a little like more it's a little harder and more trancey / like whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, Cascade is more emotional female vocals, and that's why I stand.
Yeah, he did Cold as Stone.
So good.
Fire in Your New Shoes. I was like, oh, bitch, that's a throwback.
Dragonette.
Oh, so good. But, you know, and I will say, like, for this whole quarantine, future, whatever world that we're moving towards, the fact that they were able to pull this off just from like a technical standpoint it's
crazy. Yeah, they used drones. The people that were there were like distanced. It was very obviously deserted. It was the Grand Canyon, but it was still
no audience.
So technologically like advanced.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, we
so
have
props
to
that. I feel my stance is that drag queens and DJs are doing the best of everyone as far as entertainers on live streams. Like I just think they're being so innovative.
Oh, 1,000%.
Very cool to watch people, you know, take a bad situation and do the best they can.
Yeah, YouTubers, Twitch streamers, DJ sets. I feel like they're killing it.
Completely. Now there was another legend, and we just talked about her briefly, very briefly, who also is killing it on the charts. And we have a big, big milestone to celebrate very soon.
We sure
do.
We
need to talk about the one, the only, Legendina Gaudulera. Christina's Not Myself Tonight, and also a few other. Candyman was up there.
You Lost Me.
You Lost Me slayed the iTunes video charts. And she celebrated that with a little post. The Fighters got her videos up to the top of the charts. If you haven't been following along for the journey, pop stars and their fans have inexplicably used the quarantine to rocket old albums up to the top of the charts, which I'm not complaining.
Justice for Glory.
Justice for Glory, and now Justice for Bionic is much needed. I have so much to say about Bionic. I know T. Kyle does too.
Mm-hmm.
And we
June
will be
4th,
doing
10-year anniversary.
Be doing a 10-year retrospective of the impact and ahead of its timeness of Bionic.
And we have had this one in the books for over a year. I feel like we wrote this into our calendar when we started Britney podcast like a year and a half ago.
Like, we have to do this. Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, oh, what are like upcoming things? And I was like, in 2020, 10 years of Bionic.
It's the only thing I'll remember.
We were all so happy that day. It's actually hard to even imagine how terrible things would soon become.
Us on the day of Bionic's release. God. Now, what makes me think that she's got something planned is she wrote, #1 on iTunes, love you guys, and loading ... Bionic's 10-year anniversary.
Something's happening.
Something's happening.
I'm ready for it. No,
totally ready for it.
Let's put this into the universe. Let's manifest it. Since everything's awful, maybe we can make this happen. We're going to do 10 years of Bionic, and we will tweet about it and like do all this stuff, and we will try and get a fave from Christina Aguilera. It's not called a fave anymore. It's called a like now.
You know what? I want to
shoot
for
faves.
A little more ambitious. I just want a kiss emoji from her.
Okay.
Just a Bionic lip emoji from her.
Okay. I think that's possibly doable.
I think it could happen.
Hey, Lindsay Lohan followed me last week. We interviewed Heidi Montag. This is just the next step, is a kiss emoji from Legentina.
You know what?
I'm cutting that.
Give it a Latin spin. Quarantina.
Next up is a kiss emoji from Legentina.
From Legend X. We can make it happen.
Make it happen. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I feel like she'll probably do merch and shout out something and do like a vinyl or something, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think she definitely honors her legacy in a big way. And I think we'll get something out of this. I think there's something brewing with the whole Justice for Bionic thing. Obviously, there was so much drama when it was released.
I have so much to say about that.
Oh, yeah.
The fighter will jump out.
The fighter's jumping out.
For everyone in the past recent years who thinks that I don't like Christina, just you fucking wait. I am ready to scream Justice for Bionic. I'm so ready for it.
I'm excited. So we're going to definitely have that. Stay tuned for that. And we also have a 10-year of another album, which I don't think we're going to do right away, but I think we should do this year at some point. And that was the 10-year anniversary of Flesh Tone by Khalees, which we reference constantly on the pod, but we never have done the deep dive. But I think we will this year. I think because that album, I was looking, it like debuted at like number 48.
Yeah, it flopped.
It completely flopped. 7,000 copies sold or something. And it's still like probably the best album of 2010, aside from Kylie's Aphrodite and Robin's Body Talk. And
Bionic.
And Bionic, obviously. And I think we definitely need to do it some justice too.
It's also such a good summer record. Like I feel like back in the day when I used to do Fire Island and everything, I would always throw Flesh Tone on all the playlists and everyone loved it. Everyone's like, what is this?
Skips.
Who is this? I'm like...
She doesn't miss. No skips. Club, other club, acapella, 4th of July. It's perfect.
She's an icon, but she's not somebody that you think about all the time.
Exactly. So stay tuned for that. If you've never been, because I really feel like there were at least several comments when I did my little like 10-year post that were like, oh, I'll check this out. I'm like, oh my God, you don't even know. So
we got to let the girls know.
Gotta let the people
Especially
know.
as everything calms down.
Yeah.
We're thinking about doing more retrospective moments through the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Because, the girls will be by their pools. Yeah. I'm jealous. In their backyards.
I know,
with their grills and their pools.
Will calm down. Eventually, I think a lot of artists are a little afraid to throw out music because we can't go out and celebrate it.
Yeah.
And it's like, will that music exist at the clubs when they do reopen? Or do we just skip over everything? That's also an interesting concept is... Will Dua's Hallucinate and Everything be even playing at the club in 2 years? Or
if you're DJing, it will.
If I, yeah, that's true. But
yep.
Yeah. At the Mew Mew's DJ night, it will. But who knows, though? It's so interesting to think that like people will be like making up for 2 years of music at the club, or will they just be doing the latest songs? I don't know.
We'll be making up for it.
We sure will.
If we could scream Justice for Glory for 4 years, I think we can do justice for Dua.
Yeah,
in
we definitely
2022.
can. And speaking of justice, it's just been a justice-filled week, and perhaps this time of year, this time of quarantine has, I don't know, stirred up a lot of feelings about righting wrongs and giving credit where it's due. But Miss Nicki Minaj, as you know, we often reference a cartoon on YouTube called Nicki Minaj. So that's why we say that. But some people think that we just say that for clarity.
Yes, if you are looking for something to do during quarantine, another recommendation, the Nicki Minaj Show on YouTube. There are 3 seasons?
Yes, I want to say there are 3 seasons. And just for clarity, it is spelled NEKCIMENIJ.
Yes, and that is where Renna, X-Teen, Brinty,
Bobby, all of our references.
Everything comes from that. It is
Ablum.
stan culture in a cartoon.
Yeah.
You will either get it or you won't. But if you get it, you will be so entertained. There's a bionic house.
Right. So getting back to Miss Nicki, this week, thanks to the Say So remix we discussed last week, she earned, shockingly, her first #1 ever on the Hot 100 after, I believe, 109 entries. Now, this ties back to something we reference pretty much every episode, which is Mariah's iconic diss during American Idol when she was judging with Nicki.
Again, back to the Billboard Hot 100 #1 song, which you just performed, which is difficult to get. Not everybody has that.
Difficult to get. Not everybody has that, because at the time, Nicki did not have a #1.
Such an iconic line.
It will forever, that will be eternal.
I got dragged by the barbs like last year because I just used it.
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't even say anything.
You literally just used the GIF, but they interpreted that as a Nicki attack because of its original intention. But you weren't meaning it to be about Nicki, but you got dragged anyway.
Yep.
Truly, that's fan culture summed up. But anyway, as an early adopter Barb who has videos that will never come out of me performing songs from Nick's Tape Minaj era in my college dorm, Cassie's Fuck You Silly Forever, I just feel like this is long overdue that she finally got a #1. Like, considering Cardi knocked out a #1 the second she stepped out, it's like Nicki deserves her flowers more than deserves. So I'm happy about it. Your silence. Well, all right.
I'll have to look it up. Well,
anyway, I'm
biting
ecstatic.
should I just say it?
Okay, go ahead.
It's not her song.
Oh, no.
So I get it, but I'm also like, that's not you jumped on a song that was popular.
Yeah, no. This is to me, this is purely very long overdue recognition that has nothing to do with her and this song. It's just yeah. No, I totally agree with you. This is, as far as her
Automatic should have gone #1. Va Va Voom should have been #1. Starship should have been #1. Freedom should have gone #1. Roman Holiday should have gone #1.
I was saying Good Form and Roman Holiday and all these songs that people use endlessly in fan cams and viral memes. She's taken over the internet. Anaconda so many times. It's of course she deserves one by now. This song isn't the reason. It's more she just earns it by now. But
I wonder if TikTok was around earlier, if it would have helped out.
I think so.
Because so many of these internet #1s come from TikTok.
Absolutely.
The charts right now are literally the top 10 are all popular songs on TikTok.
Yeah, no. If you're
The Box, Say So,
we joke about
Roses,
TikTok and stuff, but literally it is defining the charts right now, and is also defining youth culture as far as what's popular.
Mm-hmm.
The music selections. And it's unfortunate because Nicki's songs have always been everywhere on videos on Twitter and stuff, but that doesn't translate the same as far as people looking up the song and stuff. The fan cams set to Good Form, everybody did that of red carpet moments of their fave, but she didn't really get that recognition for it. So All in all, I feel very strongly it's a justice for Nicki thing and not so much the song, because that's not even her, by far her best verse. Like that, it's
Oh,
just
no.
like, it's just fine. But
I mean, obviously her best rap ever is on the Till the World Ends remix.
right, she peaked there, obviously.
Sarcasm, sorry.
But yes.
Actually,
But,
no,
you
it
know.
is good, but
No, it is. It's very, like, people still remember it. And also, there's just so long overdue justice, like the monster verse that Adele did during Carpool Karaoke, that it's cultural. People know these Nicki verses, and yet she never got her flowers. So she deserves it. So anyway, I'm getting off of my pedestal now, but I'm happy for Nicki, and I hope that there's more music coming, even though maybe she's retired, but we'll see.
we should do
I don't blame her.
Nicki Minaj reference here, Pink Fronde.
Pink Friday, right?
Which, by the way, I still to this day will never say it otherwise. Like, I'm always like, oh my God, Pink Fronde, Roman Reloaded.
That commercial, that cartoon really ruined our
Everything.
perception of everything.
And by ruined, I mean made our lives so entertaining. Do you remember the one episode where they're in Vegas and Eckstein says something to Brinty about her Bobby?
Yes, I do,
So
but
good.
it's so good.
And
Anyway,
the bionic
check it
face.
out. The bionic face is so good. The cartoon of it. Oh my God. Anyway, shout out to Neki. And finally, at the very, very end of the weekend, we got a cover drop from Miss Stephanie Germanata.
My Stephanie Germano.
And Ariana Grande for Rain on Me, coming out on, is your birthday, right?
Yeah.
So nice of our Stephanie to drop something on your
So nice of
birthday.
my Stephanie. Only the second most iconic thing to happen that day.
Right. I will say, somebody pointed out that the artwork for this era looks like a PlayStation game, and now I can't unsee it.
And someone photoshopped it.
Yeah, and it really does look like it. And I don't think that's a diss either. I'm into that aesthetic.
Yeah, it's like very 2000s retro.
Yeah, video game retro. I'm into it. And she's a gamer. She plays games. So this is probably intentional.
It looks kind of like Mortal Kombat, like GoldenEye-ish.
Very that.
There was such a good James Bond game for the PlayStation 2.
Oh, I don't remember
that had
one.
such a good multiplayer on it. Oh, what was it called? Something like Fire.
Ring of Fire.
And like there was this, you would go to the loading screen and this girl with like big tits and like a ponytail would like drop from the sky and she'd like flip to the left and she'd flip to the right with her gun. And someone out there will know, literally. Like she just drops from the sky like that drag queen video where she does a split and then like is like with her tits. If anyone out there knows what I'm talking about, I can't remember. Is it Crossfire or Cross something?
Oh, that sounds right, though.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Chromatica coming soon. So the week before Chromatica drops, we're getting Rain on Me with Ariana. Ariana, I got backlash for even just casually saying it to my friend, but like she has a brand. Like she is not going to, even with a Lady Gaga collab, she's still giving high pony, high boot, like her look. Like I thought maybe she'd get a little weird with her look. She even made her post black and white.
Yeah.
She took the cover and made it black and white and like fuzzy and like gray. I'm like, okay, got it.
She has a brand and aesthetic and she does not deviate from it, which on one hand I respect and on the other I'm so hungry for like a surprise. But I guess it's kind of, she's like a Pokemon. We
don't need any more surprises this year.
We don't, if she puts her hair down, it's going to be a mess. So we don't need to know.
No more surprises.
Hoping this is a banger. Little bits and pieces of it have already leaked. It sounds very like Two Divas banger, like Enough is Enough, No More Tears. So I think this could be a real big moment for them.
It better be good because I will say the gays have been hyping this like crazy. Not me,
they have,
but everyone else. So I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to see. You guys know I've been loving this era. I have been standing Stupid Love, so I'm not going to buy into the hype. And if it leaks, I'm going to wait because I don't know. I just feel like I've been enjoying things more.
I'm glad to hear that. That is a relief.
I've been ignoring hype. I've been ignoring leaks. I'm like, let me just have my moment.
And I hope, I pray they will deliver and give us something. We talked a little bit about the fashion of Her Love on that single art. I guess it's probably a good time to...
Oh, did someone say fashion?
Hi, fashion!
so editorial.
Guys, this is awesome. This is a billboard. This is super high fashion.
Oh my God, that's so high fashion.
So high fashion.
Okay, so my pick for the week, which...
And I kind of think it's my pick for the week, too. It's definitely something that needs to be discussed.
It needs to be discussed. And I posted this on my Instagram story. James Charles, Instant Influencer finale, which we'll discuss briefly at the end of this episode because I know that probably 97% of you don't want anything to do with this show or care. But to the 3% of you who do, we will talk about it. So James, first, the beginning outfit was also funny to me, like the waisted like skirt dress. But the finale look was the
orange
neon orange blazer with a ball gown orange tulle skirt.
Yes.
That's called tulle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've watched Project Runway a couple seasons.
Yeah, we know. We have a segment about fashion. We know.
Mm-hmm. And the matching eye, full neon orange moment. I just screamed at my computer because it was so unexpected. He was just like, he was standing right there in like a full ball gown blazer.
Ball gown blazer. Yep. Very that. You know what? That was a look.
It sure was.
High fashion.
Yep. I was like, oh, that's it for the week.
Absolutely.
Fenty Beauty shaking.
And I guess that probably was that definitely stole my attention. My only other thing, I guess, would be Miss Tinashe has a video with Zoo, a new song actually called Only. And
so good.
Yes. And she posted 2 images, like high def. She's very quarantine chic. I think this is going to be what the girls are looking like. High fashion, mask, very fierce look, and totally fitting for the times. So once again, another Tinashe slay. I'm going to cancel myself for that.
I see what you did there.
But yeah, it's a strong look. And I feel that she's a bit thriving in quarantine. I think she's been having some good photo shoots and videos and now this song. So give it up for her.
Give it up for Tinashe.
Tinashe, yes, an iconic quote from our queen.
Oh, gosh. Yes, speaking of the glory era, that was one of the moments to come from it. But
speaking of new Tinashe, I guess we can wander on over into new music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Love this song.
Do you?
Well, it depends which one we're about to talk about.
Should we start with the first and then get into the better ones?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. So you all know I am a Jonas Brothers stan. Justice for the Jonas Brothers, Lines, Vines, and Trying Times. They have a new song out with Karol G. We also stan Karol G. It's called X. It's not. I don't. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's cute and fun and fine, but I'm also like, if they had any Latin connection, I would probably go harder for it, but it feels very like
pieced together.
They're wandering into territory that has nothing to do with them. And it's not appropriation, but it's like, God, this is awkward. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, I just don't really think that's their scene. And I know, of course, like Latin music is very popular in the US now, like more than ever, having a big wave again with everybody, but I don't know why they're dabbling.
Yeah, it also just doesn't fit with what a man gotta do.
Not at all. And
the other song that came out, which is 5 More Minutes. And none of them are like, there's no cohesion.
No, and it's kind of reminding me, and I don't want to say this because I know this is very disrespectful to you, but it's kind of reminding me of Maroon 5 and how, I mean, they kind of just did whatever. At a certain point, they just hopped onto whatever. It kind of feels a little like that. Where
I don't
know.
I feel like 2 ways about it. I'm like, one, the sound isn't cohesive with, like, I don't know where they're going with the next album.
Yeah.
And then the other part of it is that there's no summer tour that's going to happen. So I personally am like, okay, cool, great, new music, fun, but I can't go see you in concert. So this is depressing to me because last summer, I was at the bar at this B stage by myself singing Year 3000.
I know how far we've come.
You know, they had a point. They were ahead of their time when they said, been to the year 3000. Not much has changed, but we lived underwater.
Well, we're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we stan, but I don't know where they're going with the new era. So
Just felt very strange. Yeah. I like creative risks. I like choices, but I don't know that this was it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do love the album art though.
Yes, I agree with that.
But I just need a cohesive moment from them because the last album was so cohesive. But
yeah.
Anyway, speaking of things, Katy Perry.
Speaking of things, now this is probably the big topic of as far as comebacks. I'll use that loosely because she's been here all last year too. But this is supposed to be the lead single from KP5.
Yeah, the new single that's in bloom for this new era. Daisies.
Florals. Groundbreaking. Daisies. Okay. Well, all right. I don't hate it.
No, me neither.
And I don't hate the message of the song in theory, which is very like, you tried to tear me down sort of feeling, and you could cover me in daisies. It's very like, I know you hated with the Witness era, but I'm still here.
Yeah, right.
Fine. Perfectly strong message. And I actually like the little reverb at the end of the chorus where she's like, daisies, daisies. Like, I like that noise. That little like electronic noise. But this is not strong enough to be a lead single by any means. And she actually had a stronger one last year. Never Really Over is way stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little confused. And it also has Never Really Over also has kind of the same message too. It's just way more of a bop.
Right?
I'm a little confused.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine.
I also think she really, really could have waited a little longer. She is pregnant. There is no rush to...
That's what I thought too. I was like, why don't you just not
have the baby? Like, there's even a reason for you not to be active right now. But instead, we got the Orlando Bloom directed footage of her doing Someday I Will Understand outside.
Wow, her lead single is called Daisies, and her husband's name is Bloom, Orlando Bloom.
Oh, she did that. But
wow. Her mind.
You know, one of the things that was unfortunate was just the deafening silence on social media. Like, nobody is saying anything about it.
No, I feel like we're hitting that point, though, with new music.
Yeah, fair. But I saw a lot more about a couple of the things we're about to talk about than
True.
Katy. Like,
yeah.
And I feel really bad because I just felt like, as we've already said, like, to have been matching MJ's record, Teenage Dream, Unstoppable.
Can we do a deep dive into Teenage Dream?
We definitely need to. Also,
we'll get that on the books along with everything else.
Right. Teenage Dream obviously like kind of embodies her, and this is another 10-year coming up, so it'll be perfect. August 24th.
Really?
Yeah.
We can schedule that out. My summer will be a little bit less chaotic, I think, so we'll
do that.
Get her on the books. Also, EDM moment, Kygo, another new track with Ryan Tedder from One Republic.
Oh, yeah.
Lose Somebody. Now, when I first wrote these notes down, I was kind of like, so I wrote meh in it. But then I was listening to it more, and I'm enjoying it a lot more.
Yeah, and didn't he also, like, release a track list?
Yeah, it is slowly coming out, but then someone on Twitter found the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's coming out same day as Chromatica, so I'm very torn because my king is going to lose that battle. I feel like the monsters are going to trample over my prince, Kygo, but it's fine.
And then one that came out that I'm really excited about is Chloe and Halle's Do It. Now, I don't know if you heard this one yet, but it's like a very like throwback R&B vibes.
I am obsessed with this. I saw it because it was on YouTube trending.
Yep.
And then I opened Instagram and Beyonce Instagrammed about it. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. So they're part of Parkwood Entertainment, Beyonce's brand. And they have been, I have to give it to Beyonce. Like, they didn't just give up on the girls. Not that the girls ever like failed, but they're not having like a massive moment yet. They've never really charted huge at all, but they've been like doing this build up in the background. And then, you know, eventually this popped. And I feel like this might be their biggest moment yet.
I mean, they got promo from Beyonce.
Yes,
on
that
her
definitely.
Instagram. We all know the elusive
Right.
legend does not ever do this.
And now Halle is going to be in the upcoming Little Mermaid remake. She was the one cast as Ariel.
Oh.
She was the one of the controversy because the racists were like, "Oh, she can't be black." Yes, that's her.
Iconic.
So now I think this is cool for a number of reasons because, first of all, once you're under Disney's eye, you don't really, this is not your moment to make more adult music, but this is at the same time kind of their emancipation. In my opinion, this is their like most adult moment. I'm like, wow, this is under Disney's watchful eye right now. So that's kind of cool that they went with it. And then you realize that Beyonce was Lion King, and now the Little Mermaid moment. So it's like this little empire, this Parkwood Entertainment, Beyonce, Disney connections. It's all kind of coming together.
This is a place for legends.
It really, really is. So,
And the video is just so cool looking.
It really is.
Like the lights, that one scene with the lights and all the smoke in the back and the gold is just so, and the outfits, simple, minimalistic, looks fucking phenomenal.
Totally. So get into that. Chloe and Halle.
Do it.
Do it. Just do it,
Not
baby.
to be confused with I'll do it, but
Close.
equally as iconic.
Yes, I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, so we have that. Oh, and do you know who produced it?
No.
Scott Storch.
What?
Yep.
Really?
The king is back.
FUSS. That's a Legendina
Yeah, he
reference.
co-wrote. Oh my God. He co-wrote and produced.
What?
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Scott
So like
Storch.
Paris collab is coming.
Wow.
Chloe x Halle x Paris.
I mean, good for him because
Yeah,
the taste is still there. So,
for sure.
wow.
I know, that's the craziest part, I feel. But yeah, so moving on, we also have one that we just discussed. Zoo and Tinashe did one called Only. I'm obsessed with this because it reminds me of Tinashe's Just Say with KDA, which is amazing dance song. And also her Die a Little Bit. When she does dark electronic, it's always a win for me. So this is pretty experimental. It kind of goes off in different directions. And I think it fits the vibe of the times. It's very moody. A Tinashe Ride or Die. So this is just the latest in her experimental left lane vibes. So I'm into that. And then the other thing that came out that was active on the social media was Miss Charlie XCX. Her quarantine album that we have been discussing, How I'm Doing Now, is out. It's very eclectic, loud, sometimes grating, sometimes emotional. It's a lot of feelings, and I guess it just kind of sums up the quarantine.
I was going to say that sums up like every single day of my life lately.
I mean, I have to give it up to her. Like, to have made that album in probably like 3 weeks or however long she announced it is just insane. And it sounds like an album that was in the works forever. So it's just sometimes you got to be in the mood for it. It's definitely not right before bed.
I'll have to look it up.
You'll have to look it up. Anthems is like a really, I mean, some of them are like clearly for 2 a.m. Poppers O'Clock gay club, you know, like
Meth
revelry.
Gala teas.
Meth Gala teas. So it's like,
wasn't that this week too?
I think it was last week, but it might have been this week. Who can forget? Because
That's
too
a
many
whole
days.
other story of like gay Twitter drama. There could be a whole podcast dedicated to that shit.
There could be 99 gays in a Hell's Kitchen apartment, and only one of them has corona, and then it's a problem. But anyway, we're canceling them all. But this is definitely that vibe in a way. It's very like partying inside and irritating and frustrated, and it captures the mood. It does. So she's like, I just want to go out and party, which, girl, same. So
yeah. Well, I'll have to look that one up. So
you have to look. Is it Vroom? I'll look that one up.
What's it called? Yeah.
Very that.
And
favorite
then
of the Gen Z gays. So
my recommendation for the week that I think is my
good one that
favorite.
fits the mood.
Sophie Tucker, Gorgon City. The song is called House Arrest. Now, I know we were talking about we don't want songs that represent, quarantine or whatever and like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of vibing with that whole thing now. And this one's dark. It's electronic. The beat is good. Obsessed.
And it literally addresses the situation.
Right.
I'm kind of not mad about that either. I mean, I love the song. So yeah, what else is he going to sing about at a certain point? So
Exactly. I also wanted to shout out because the number one thing that I've been listening to for the past week is The Midnight, which we talked about Deep Blue last week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then I jumped into all of their albums and I am obsessed. I have been listening nonstop all week. The album Kids is so good. It's like synthy, dreamy, 90s, 80s inspired, poppy, vibey music. It's just perfect for the moment that I'm in right now. So I wanted to recommend that, even though they're older albums, but
you know what? What is time?
yeah,
Time doesn't matter anymore.
it's very just like summery, dreamy synth pop.
Love it. Very into it. And we will have that on the Legends Only Weekly, which will be updated this week. So you can vibe with all of these songs. Now, I guess it's time to once again talk about the most important issue at hand.
The finale of this week's episode. We will discuss the instant influencer finale.
Only one can become an instant influencer.
Spoiler alert. Do we?
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Agree.
If you didn't watch it yet, turn away now and go watch it.
Yeah. It's only 39 minutes on YouTube
you have the time.
for free.
So the contestants were challenged with coming up with a viral capable trend that they had to create.
Now, they all flopped, in my opinion, on this challenge.
In my opinion, more or less, yes.
Yeah, they all flopped so hard.
Bless Benny's heart, his sweet, sweet heart. Him having a concept ready to go and it just being Ariana's Dangerous Woman era is
literally
too iconic.
He's like, I have a concept. It's just Dangerous Woman from Ariana Grande. But you know what? It's we have to support. We found out that he's a Britney stan. He did a post on Instagram.
Like a legit one. Yeah, he like really he loves. So we love. The dog also.
You know what?
And I mean, he's a sweetheart. James was like, "Show us the real you," and so the interpretation of that was to pile on fluff onto his face. But
it was a mess.
It was a mess, and then we had Ashley, who was doing like off-brand that was just half-baked.
Yeah, it
lacked like the why would I want to recreate
it? Yeah. As beauty and makeup experts here.
Well, yes, we definitely are.
It just was like whatever, but I do agree with the winner.
I absolutely agree with the winner. Predestined from the start, in my opinion, because she kept winning. So I'm very happy. We can say it because we said spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's Ashley.
Ashley won. She got to do the outro video, which was for once not full of tears, sad tears anyway, because she was happy. He very mercifully did not make Kaylin and Benny do outro videos. And now she won the $50,000 in the video collab, which probably comes out next week, and the home setup.
Yeah.
Now, I think all in all, by the way, Norvina was serving serious Xtina for me this week. Like,
she is literally Lotus era Xtina.
I live. And then we had Mario, who invented Kim, as they kept saying.
Like, they're all like, he made Kim. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He gave her like blue eyeshadow once. Yeah. I'm like,
yeah. A makeup legend nonetheless. And yeah, I told you this. I think Miss James Charles has a recipe for a potential actual series on his hands. It needs fine tuning. It's a little hokey, obviously. The host himself is quite hokey. Needs to speed down his speech. I think this is so doable for seasons to come, and the challenges make sense for what YouTube has turned into, and the process of doing the makeup has always been the reason I watch those videos, because it's interesting and it's not different from when we watch them do things on Project Runway and those kinds of shows. So I feel like this has pickup potential.
I agree 1,000%. I'm going to give my creative feedback here because there are people who listen that I think could pass along this information, and I'm fine giving it up because it's whatever and who cares. So I agree 1,000%. I think this could be a longer series, and the benefit that they have is that they're making it for YouTube, so you have no time constraints at all whatsoever. You don't have to adhere to commercials and squeezing your show into an hour time slot with like 5 commercial breaks. You could do whatever you want.
That's really true.
They need an intro, a better intro for James, sort of like a Project Runway RuPaul.
A theme song of some kind.
Yeah, like RuPaul, every episode of Drag Race has that moment where he walks out and does like May the Best Woman Win.
Yeah.
James, they need to write a intro for James, especially if he's going to be wearing these ridiculous finale outfits. We need to see them.
I mean, they seem to have their tagline like blend but don't blend in or whatever.
It needs a better moment.
Yeah.
And also the workroom in the beginning also needs a RuPaul-esque like knock on the door or like a sound or something.
Hello, 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 sisters.
Literally, like, hi, sisters. Like some kind
totally.
of, they need to have a better intro in the beginning and also for the judging portion.
I agree.
And it does need to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, it's
but other than
hyper-speed.
that, it's there.
Yeah. I will say, though, and I don't know if it's a generational thing. I know everyone says he talks fast, but I feel like the speed also works for the new generation. Not to sound ancient, but
it does.
I feel like the kids do intake the information at a faster pace, so it kind of works. But they could still have a longer episode. I think they should, because even the mini challenge of the apology video was so fast. It was like 30 seconds of them.
Yeah.
So I think they could expand that a lot. There's tons of challenges they haven't even done yet. I mean, you know, all of the challenges that they've done online of like using only one product for your whole face and all of that kind of thing is like
make your own palette challenge.
Totally unlimited potential. We could definitely do season 2 ourselves.
And I would join the production team of it 1,000%. I'm not even kidding. I'll put it out there right now. If you want to hire me to come do it, I'll do it.
Yes, except I am only signing on board if Jaclyn Hill is next to Norvina as a permanent judge. And she has lips
is something
in hand.
They could do too. Wait, here's a challenge idea. I just thought of it.
Your makeup has hair in it.
That's not what I was going to say, but that is one too.
That is one for sure.
They could do sort of like how on Drag Race they do the group challenges where they all have to put together like a performance.
Yeah.
But it's influential makeup muas that have all feuded with each other, that are team leaders, and get like 2 makeup artists, and they all have to compete against each other and come up with like a palette or a campaign.
That's pretty cool.
So like your team Jaclyn, team Jeffrey, team Manny, they all have to be separated by like Morphe stands.
Right.
And they all have to compete.
I totally feel that. All the jokes about James' personality and how he carries himself aside, I think this is actually the making of something. So kudos to them. And as you pointed out to me, like it's getting the numbers of a hugely successful YouTube series. Like it's trended every time.
The numbers are insane.
And if you watched their Social Blade numbers, Ashley gained 81K on YouTube at least premiere day, and now has over 300K subscribers, probably much more now. But
wow.
The other benefit is all of them will grow so much from this because their whole job is being influencers. So it's an instant benefit to anybody who actually makes it. And the further you go, the more followers you're going to get and fame and whatever, which that's their goal. And it just kind of makes sense. It definitely.
Also, it's very similar to the show that was on with Rebecca Romaine and what was that one called?
Oh, what was that called?
It wasn't called The Face, was it?
Face Off? No,
Face Off. Maybe Face Off.
But I know what you're saying.
It was a makeup show. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could do. I mean, it's been done. This is just in a different format. So
and it clearly appeals to the people who are watching it. Like this felt very
us.
Yes. And James's followers would definitely watch this. So, you know, the fact that it was only like 4 episodes, 5 maybe?
4.
Yeah, is like, oh, you could do so much more next time.
And they could all do this socially distant too.
That's the other thing. This is a perfectly good format for a quarantine edition where you just do it at home and send in your videos.
Yeah, because you're just painting on yourself. So
yeah, because as we said,
Runway
YouTubers thrive in this environment. So what a time. But yes, Miss James Charles really did that with Instant Influencer. And I feel like a lot of people online are secretly watching because I feel like I've seen names of people I would not expect following the contestants. So
yeah, we see you.
We see you. It shows up.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I'm excited to see what Ashley does with it, and also just all of them, because it's a big boost for them. So we shall see who she feuds with first. Oh my God.
Oh, I know, right? What's going to be the first thing she has to apologize for?
It's going to be like, Nikita Dragon gave me a side eye on the set. And
also, speaking of apologies, did you see Colleen Ballinger's? That was drama this week too.
That was. Yes,
she did what she had to do,
about
though.
17 different things.
Her video was the best of all apology videos.
Absolutely, because I think everyone understands that she is genuine before everybody else.
Yeah. And she's like, this is what I did. It was a fuck up, and I'm moving forward. And I'm like, thank you. She just takes ownership, says it, takes responsibility for it, and is like, I'm moving on.
And she was also like, the offensive video was taken down a long, long time ago because we knew it was bad and horrible, and it resurfaced, and I'm still sorry, but like we did know it was wrong right away, and we took it down. But obviously it was on the internet once, so it's there forever. But it wasn't like it needed to be told that it was bad to her. She already had
knew.
It. Yeah. But oh God.
And let's talk about all the teens right now on TikTok who are like mocking people with disabilities and like all this other stuff. Like that's worse, and that's happening now. So anyway, I'll digress.
Yeah.
I was having a good day.
But anyway, I think YouTube is generally drama-free besides that little apology video this week.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the girls do this week.
We shall. So until then, next week, my birthday, rain on me.
We will be pulling out our umbrellas and celebrating your birthday.
I don't know if we will be, but that's fine.
We're gonna figure out.
I haven't had time to put together my stream, so I think I'm gonna cancel it. But
well, if nothing else, we can just do League or something.
Yeah, I could just sit on Twitch with like no music and just sit in my chair and drink White Claw and just talk with people. There's always that.
Could do that.
Yeah. See you then, and we'll have to do it on Saturday because I have to work Friday all day and Friday night. So
tentatively
scheduled Saturday, May 23rd.
Everybody else is also celebrating their birthday in quarantine this year, and probably even me in January. But
right. And Brittany's probably going to ruin your birthday some way next year, so get ready for that.
Oh God.
But until then, we will
see you
next week.
Soon. Bye.